No, sir. No. With Mala, Valmiki. It is started. You start.
Good afternoon, students. So today I will complete the chapter first morphology of flowering plant. In my previous class the flower and different parts of a flower I have discussed. Today the only in your revised syllabus two families description of two families are over there and they are Solanaceae and Liliaceae. So today I will discuss about that two families. After that I will proceed to the next chapter. So before knowing the general characteristics of these two families, you have to know some floral diagram. For floral diagram there are some abbreviations. Okay. So first I will tell you this part. So we will write K for calyx, C for corolla, A for androecium, G for gynoecium and BR for bractet, EVR for ebractet and that sign is for male, that sign is for female, that sign is for bisexual plant. Okay. And if we consider G dash, below the G there will be a dash for superior ovary and that sign is for inferior ovary. Okay. So and this sign is for symmetry, actinomorphic symmetry, and this sign is for zygomorphic symmetry. Okay. So by this we can denote the different floral parts, this which is called as floral diagram, okay, or floral formula. So I am repeating, first you have to know the full form or abbreviations. So first K for calyx, C for corolla, A for androecium, G for gynoecium, G underline above the G is inferior ovary and underline below the G is superior ovary, and BR for bractet, EBR for ebractet, that sign is for male, that sign is for female and this one is for bisexual, and within a circle there is a plus sign, this is actinomorphic symmetry, and there is a percentage sign which is showing zygomorphic symmetry. Okay. So in your exams or in these type of questions may come that a floral diagram will be there, you have to explain the different floral parts or different what kind of features it is showing. So in your syllabus only two families are there, that is Solanaceae and Liliaceae. So Solanaceae is family, commonly it is called as potato family, okay, because this potato will come under this family. So under this Solanaceae it is called as potato family and it is widely distributed in the tropics and subtropical area and even some temperate zones also. Okay, so the habitat or distribution of this group or potato family is tropics, subtropics and in some tropical zones. Now, if I consider the vegetative characters of this family, under this family plants may be herbs, plants may be shrubs or plant rarely but trees will be small in size. Okay, so usually they will be herbs, and if they become a tree, then the tree will be in small size. Okay, so that is the type of the plant. Next, if I consider the stem of this type of plant, these herbaceous herbs, those herbaceous plants are rarely woody, aerial, erect, cylindrical, branched, solid or hollow. Okay, so these are the characteristics of Solanaceae family, stem of the Solanaceae family, and it is potato is found underground part and it is modified stem. Okay, potato is the modified stem which is found in underground, and which is the, what is the scientific name of potato? Solanum tuberosum. Solanum tuberosum. Solanum tuberosum comes under this family Solanaceae. Next, if I consider the leaves, they are having simple, alternate type of compound, simple, alternate or sometimes compound type. Leaves can be found with reticulate venation. You know what are the differences between parallel venation and reticulate venation? Parallel venation means this type of venation where veins run parallel to each other, and reticulate venation means where veins forms a network like structure. Network like structure is called as reticulate venation, and in the leaves of the Solanaceae family this reticulate type of venation can be found. Next, we will proceed to the floral diagram or floral characters. What is the floral formula of Solanaceae? That is the floral formula of Solanaceae. So, with that floral formula we can find out that what type of flower it is. Look, these are given here. So, we have to find it out. First, if I consider the symmetry, we can see that it is having actinomorphic symmetry. So, flowers are having actinomorphic symmetry and it is bisexual. This is for actinomorphic symmetry. So, we can say the flower of Solanaceae family is having actinomorphic symmetry. This part is for bisexual flower. So, we can say that flower is bisexual with actinomorphic symmetry. Next, if I consider that calyx, so the unit of calyx is sepals. So, here I have written 5, that means the number of calyx is 5. Here it is written K for calyx and number is 5. So, what is the sepals? The number of sepals is 5, sepals 5, and if this type of bracket is given, that means it is united. If this type of bracket is given, that means it is united. That means sepals 5 united, and they are showing valvate type of estivation. In my previous class, I also explained the estivation. So, they are showing valvate type of estivation. Okay. Next part is corolla. So, C for corolla. What is the number of corolla? 5. They are free or united as it is in the bracket. So, the 5 corolla are in united condition. Okay. So, number of corolla is, that means under that corolla, units of corolla is calyx. So, we can say that number of unit of corolla is petals. So, number of petals is 5 which are in united condition. Next part, if I see, and valvate estivation they show. Estivation means the arrangement of sepals and petals on the floral bud. So, both calyx and corolla is showing the valvate type of estivation. That means in that case the margins will touch, but they will not overlap. Next part is androecium. What is the number of androeciums? Androecium is 5. Look, and it is not united, that is why no bracket is there. So, A for androecium and number of androecium is 5, and last one is G for ovary. So, they are having syncarpous ovaries which is superior, and bilocular, and placenta is swollen with many ovules. So, in that case they are having many ovules. Fruits are special type of which is called as berry or capsule. Berry or capsule. Okay, their type of fruit is berry or capsule, and seeds they are endospermous seed, and number of seeds is many. Endospermous seeds means seeds in which endosperm or albumin will persist. In that type of seed is called endospermous, and if it is used up then it is called as non-endospermous. So, in that case their seed is, number of seeds are, they produce many seeds and they are endospermous type of seeds. Okay, so that is the different characteristics of Solanaceae family. Now, we will know the importance, economic importance of this family. So, many plants belong to this family are the source of food, as we know that potato are storage part modified for storing of the food. Okay. So, tomato, brinjal, potato, these are used as food, and brinjal, tomato all are under Solanaceae family. And it is used as a spice like chili. Chili is used as a spice. Medicines, some ashwagandha, these are under Solanaceae family which are used as medicines, and some ornamental plants like petunia are also under this family. So, they are having economic importance in various fields. Okay. So, this is all about Solanaceae family. Next family is there, that is Liliaceae family. So, next family is Liliaceae family. So, as their name suggests, they are commonly called as lily family. They are commonly called as lily family, which is a representative of monocotyledonous plants. Before one is dicotyledonous type of plant, but under that Liliaceae family mostly commonly it is called as lily family, and mostly monocotyledonous plants come under this family, and it is distributed worldwide. Okay, it is distributed worldwide. Now, I will talk about the vegetative characters of Liliaceae family. They are usually perennial herbs with underground bulbs, corms and rhizomes. What are these structures? Bulbs, corms or rhizomes are the different modified part of stem. Okay, so in that case this type of modifications can be found, and it is perennial, that means it can live for many years. Plants which can live for many years are called perennial plants. So, these are under perennial, and usually these are small in size. So, these are perennial herbs. Okay. And leaves are mostly basal alternate, that means one leaf will be left side, so another leaf will be on the right side. So, they are in alternate position and they are showing parallel venation, as monocots usually show parallel type of venation. That is the main difference between the dicot and monocot. All we know that in previous one was dicot plant, that is why they showed reticulate type of venation, but under that Liliaceae family usually monocots come, that is why they shows the mainly parallel type of venation. Next part is their floral formula. So, that is the floral formula of Liliaceae family. So, first one is inflorescence. In that case, that they show cymose type of inflorescence. They shows mainly cymose type of, we know what is racemose and cymose type of inflorescence. So, under this Liliaceae family, they shows mainly cymose type of inflorescence. And usually flowers are, what type of flower they are having? They are having bisexual flower and actinomorphic. So, flowers are bisexual and actinomorphic. Now, here a new term comes, that is written as P. P for perianth. Okay, it is if there is a covering part of sepals and petals, it is called as perianth, and in that it is present, number is 6, okay, and it is present into two groups in the 3 plus 3. That means here sepals and petals are united, and that type of structure is called as perianth, and the number is 3 plus 3. Okay, total number is 6. So, it is divided into 3 plus 3. Next part is, and they shows valvate type of estivation again. Again this type of flower shows valvate type of estivation. Next part is androecium. You can see that androecium is, number of androecium is written as stamen, the number of stamen is 6, and it is also written as 3 plus 3, that means it also divided into 3 plus 3 groups. And gynoecium is, they are having underline below the G, that is why we can say that their ovary is superior and the number of ovule is 3, okay, and they are united. The number of ovule is 3 and they are united, and they shows the axial type of placentation. They shows axial type of placentation. So, in my previous class you have read about the inflorescence and placentation. So, in that type they shows axial type of placentation, and their fruits are usually berry type, capsule type, and seeds are endospermous. Seeds are they are having endospermous type of seeds. Okay, so these are all about family Liliaceae. So, what are the economic importance of this family? Many plants belonging to this family are good ornamental plants like tulip. Tulip is under Liliaceae family. You know that tulip is a very good ornamental plant, and aloe vera is also under Liliaceae family. It is also used as medicine, and it is also used as vegetables, which is example is asparagus, and so these are the different plants under Liliaceae family which are economically important. Okay. So, in your syllabus only description of these two families are given. So, with that we have completed this chapter, morphology of flowering plant, and this anatomy of flowering plants is not in your syllabus, that is why I will proceed to the next chapter, that is structural organization in animals, and you also have seen that from that structural organization in animals, only animal tissue is in your revised syllabus. So, next I will discuss about the animal tissue. So, what is tissue? What is tissue? That means tissue means when a group of cells, similar type of cells are performing similar function, they are called as tissue. When a group of similar type of cells performing mostly similar type of function are called as tissue. And the study of tissue is considered as histology. Okay, the study of tissues is considered as histology. So, in the previous chapters we have read about the plant tissues. So, now we will read about the animal tissue. In animals mainly 4 types of tissues can be found. What are they? First one is epithelial tissue. Second one is connective tissue. Third one is muscular tissue. And fourth one is nervous tissue. These 4 types of tissues can be mainly found in case of animals. So, what are the functions of these 4 tissues and what are the origin or on which layer of the at the embryonic stage these tissues has been developed? First we will see that part. So, the ectodermal tissue has been originated from the 3 layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. From the ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, these 3 layers, that epithelial tissue has been originated. But from the for the connective tissue and muscular tissue, their origin is only mesoderm. They have originated from the mesoderm layer, and in case of nervous tissue, it is originated from the only ectoderm layer. So, if I write, so this one is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, and these 2 are from mesoderm and this one is ectoderm. Okay, so these are the origin of these 4 types of tissue. Next, if I consider the functions of these 4, so first one is epithelial tissue. Its function is providing protection and it also helps in secretion, absorption. Okay. So, it is having many functions in our body and it is found in the skin of epithelial part, and epithelial tissue can be divided into some types. So, what I am repeating, what are the functions of epithelial tissue? Epithelial tissue mainly helps in protection, secretion, absorption, etc. Next is connective tissue. Connective tissue provides the connection. It is a connector, that is why its name is connective tissue, and it also helps in providing strength. It is also acts as fluid medium of our body which helps in transportation. Okay. And next one is muscular tissue. Muscular tissue helps in locomotion and movement. Muscular tissue helps in locomotion and movement. And last one is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue helps in transport the impulse throughout our body. It helps to send information throughout the body. Okay. So, these are the main 4 types tissue. First we will read about the epithelial tissue. We will read every tissue one by one. Okay. So, first one is epithelial tissue. That term epi means upon or above, upon or above. Okay. So, this type of tissue can be found in outer or inner wall or inner side of any organ. Okay. So, outer or inner lining, in outer and inner lining, this type of tissue can be found, and in this type of tissue usually they are not having intercellular space. That means they are if they are having intercellular space, that one is very small. Usually they are not having intercellular space, and they are developed on a non-cellular layer which is called as basement membrane. Basement membrane, on which the cells of epithelial tissue will be developed. So, the basement membrane is a non-cellular layer. Basement membrane is a non-cellular layer, and this basement membrane can be divided into two. In the outer, they are having fibrous layer, outer fibrous layer, and inner layer is called as basal lamina. Okay, so the epithelial tissue are developing on a non-cellular layer. This is called as basement membrane, and the outer layer of basement membrane is called as fibrous layer, and the inner layer of basement membrane is called as basal lamina. So, that is the basement membrane, and that are the epithelial tissue. Okay, and you can see that there is no intercellular spaces, and nucleus will be present inside the epithelial tissue, and some of the epithelial tissue are having regeneration property. They are having regeneration property, and epithelial tissue can be divided into few types: simple epithelial tissue, complex epithelial tissue, compound epithelial tissue, and transitional epithelial tissue, on which it can be differentiated on the number layer of cells. If only single layer is present, then it is called as simple epithelial tissue. If more than one layer is present, then it is called as compound epithelial tissue, and if layer is flexible, that epithelial tissue is called as transitional epithelial tissue. Okay. So, this is the covering or lining of the some part of the tissue. In my next class, I will talk about the different types of epithelial tissue. Okay. So, up to that portion, if you have any question, you can ask me. So, thank you.